Hello world, welcome back to a new Lessons in Live video, Dive in Live number 4, and this episode is on glue compression in Siri. If you've never heard of it, I hope to inspire you today with this tutorial because it's very effective compression. Glue compression actually glues all your sounds together, and in this case I'm going to do the drum group. Where glue compression is usually used on a lot. I also use it a bit on the master, which I'll show you as well. So yeah, let's dive right in. Here's a track, a remix I made for Klankveld. Here it was still called I Woke Up, but later they changed the name to Tribe. So yeah, I don't know. Still, I woke up in my in my DAW. But for you, I want to show you how it's been made. Here's a piece of the track. So that's it, and we'll be focusing on the drum group. If I go to the group, there's a lot of stuff in there. It's groups in groups, which is new as of Live 10, of course. My kick, my clap, my head, my rides, some clap noises, some toms. And if you look on the drum group, there's two glue compressors, both compressing the way they do. Let me mute the first one, or the second one actually, and I'm on loop. Yep. Solo, so now we only hear the drums. And with glue compression, especially on drums, you don't want to have an attack that is closed. So I always have it on 10 or 30 milliseconds, which will make sure that the transient of the kick can go through. So let me give you an example of how that sounds. And as you may hear, and I really recommend you to listen to this tutorial with good headphones, preferably in HD and or on good speakers, because otherwise you won't be able to hear the difference. But what you can hear is the bass tightening up. It first is a bit flubby, or how do you call it? It's like a bit mushy, like fluh fluh. And every time the kick hits, and then when I turn on the compressor, you'll notice that the low end is getting way tighter. So let's do it again. Actually, the decay of the kick is becoming a bit shorter, so it's becoming a bit more tight. Also, I'm never compressing more than 5 dB of gain reduction. This is the gain reduction meter, and I'm never going over the 5. So you see, it's nicely peaking at 3 or 4. The makeup gain is on only 1.5. You should add the makeup gain for the amount of dB that you're reducing. But I only put it on 1.75 because I had the feeling it wasn't as loud. If I put it up at the 5, you can see that here it becomes way louder. So I rather leave it at the 1.5. Because with compression, you don't want it when you turn on the compression that the signal becomes louder, which I'll come back to in a second. The release should be super fast. I always have to release super fast, so it actually releases the compression before the next kick comes or before the next percussion element comes. Otherwise, I can show you how it will sound. Now it's all closed, the attack, and the release is still fast, but if you close the attack, for instance, you can really hear that there's no attack at all anymore. So preferably you want to have 10 or 30 milliseconds. Also with the release, if you have it closed, like very slow, it will take too long. So you can clearly hear the difference in volume. So it becomes just too much compressed when you have the release all the way open. It becomes too much compressed when you have the attack all the way closed, all the way fast. So this is the way I apply compression. And a very interesting thing is that when you turn off both compressors and turn on both compressors, I'll turn them off and then turn them on, and look at this level. I don't want it to become louder. So you want to have compression to compress, not to make the signal louder. Because when I turn on the compressor and it becomes louder, it will naturally sound better, and that's like fooling your ears basically. So let's listen to it without and then with when I put them both on. Wait, that went wrong. I pressed Control Z. It should be, they should be going on. So I turn them off, and then I'll turn them on. So when they're on, you actually see that it's like minus 11.6 or something, and when they're off, it's 11.2. So the signal is actually louder without the compression, but the signal sounds better when the compression is on, and it's even softer. So that's basically the result you want to have with gluing your stuff together. That or with any compression really, that the sound is not getting louder, but it's just getting more tight or more controlled the way you want it. The first one is mainly reacting to the bass, to the kick drum. And the second one is mainly reacting to the clap and other stuff. So more to the heads and the clap. And why is that? Because I used here this EQ, and everything above like 800, I can't see the visual representation of it, but everything above this 817 will be getting compressed. And as you see, this attack is a bit more faster. It's like on 1 millisecond, and the release is a bit slower, so it holds also a bit longer. The reason I do this is to control the rest of the signal. This one is mostly reacting to only the kick, which is cool. It makes the kick tighter, but then the rest I also want to compress a bit. So if I turn this one off, and as you hear, it just tightens up the rest a bit more, so that the rest also sits in better. So with both of them off and on, you should really tell the difference. I could even add a bit of makeup gain more, because you see that when I turn them on, the signal gets softer, so I still have a bit of leverage actually. So let's listen to it. Now let's turn the makeup gain a bit up, like this. Turn them off again, and then turn them on again. See, and that's the difference between no glue compression and glue compression. I really liked it more when it was softer like this. It really worked better. So I'll turn it one more time off and on. Way more tighter. So that's glue compression in series. I also have it on the master. There's just this preset you have in the audio effects. It's called the drum bass gentle 2 bass. In this case, I have the release on A, which is called automatic which is automatically releasing the release. I preferably have it on here. I don't know why I have it on automatic, but it's a nice way. Also, the attack is on 30 milliseconds. It's a nice way to tightly glue your everything together. So if you listen to the whole song. You can really, it's very minimal, very subtle, what you always should do with compression, mostly on a lot of sounds, to just glue it very subtly. And yeah, there's like only 1 dB, not even 1 dB of gain reduction here if you listen to it. So that's it. If you like it, please subscribe to the channel. I also have a Patreon account where you can find lessons in live and become a subscriber to get more into tutorials where I do like an hour long. I'll be recording those soon. And yeah, I hope you liked it. Let's listen to a bit of the track and I'll see you in the next episode.